able to unmute yourselves as well. So if you have any questions throughout this, please go ahead and come off your mute and ask those questions either verbally or in the chat. We do want this to be as interactive as possible. Just trying to limit the background noise. So just go ahead and unmute yourself whenever you can, whenever you want to speak. And then from there, you can ask any questions that you have, etc. My name is Courtney. I'm with National Contracting Center. It is great to see some new names on the screen. So welcome to all of you who are new to National Contracting Center. It is great to be here with you today. So sorry that we could not be there in person. I know Heather and Angie feel the same way. I think that they are on. And we'll jump on here and unmute themselves and say hi real quick, and then we will get started.
Good morning. We appreciate you guys joining us virtually. I know it's kind of makes it a little more difficult, but we are still excited to get to see your faces and be with you, and look forward to being in Mississippi here in just a few short months.
Glad everybody could join us today. I hate we couldn't be there, but from what I've heard this morning from a couple of agents, it was a very good decision. So good to have you guys on, and I know I have several new agents on here, so good to have you. Look forward to working with you this coming year.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to jump straight in. We're going to stay on camera just for a little bit, and then we're going to turn it over to our carriers. We are going to go through things pretty quickly as far as carrier presentations are concerned. This meeting was designed to be in person, so please keep that in mind. It's also not designed to take the place of carrier rollouts. So please remember, this is just the carriers getting an opportunity to give you kind of their hot sheet as to why to sell their products, why to give them some more attention, and in the same aspect, go to their carrier rollouts to make sure that you learn the most about their products. We had a cartoon theme throughout this entire rollout season, and it was all about a world gone mad. And I think that you guys understand that very well in Mississippi right now. Again, we hope that you all remain as safe as possible. If for any reason you need to jump off of this call or your power goes out, it is being recorded. We will be able to send this out to you. So this kind of hits, I don't even know if you can see the right screen. That's interesting. I think there we go. That's better. See, technology, even for us, is not the easiest thing in the world. We do want to fight back with the power of the rollout tour. Again, get you as much information as humanly possible. And today you're going to hear from United Healthcare, Shared Health, Physicians Mutual, WellCare, Aetna, Devoted, Allstate, and Cigna. So tons of carriers packed into a very short period of time. Because this was designed to be in person, I didn't really build in any breaks because we can just get up and go as we need. And you can do the exact same thing from your computer. So if you need to step away for a second, anything like that, we do ask that you turn off your camera, mute yourself, and then go handle whatever you need to handle. So just be cautious. I've done some dumb things on camera on accident before. So just make sure that you go ahead and turn your camera off and mute yourself if you need to take a call or anything like that. But we are going to stick to this schedule as much as humanly possible. I am kind of here to be the carrier moderator. And Angie and Heather are going to help me out with that as well to make sure that they stay to their 15-minute time window so that we can make it through all these presentations and be as respectful of your time as possible. I am kind of sorry that we weren't able to feed you. In the South, that's a big thing. So we're definitely going to be down there at the end of January, take you guys to a nice lunch, get y'all fed and show our appreciation, because we really do value our partnership. Um, this was scheduled to have an agent roundtable from 1:15 to 1:45. If we have an interest, we will keep that up. Talk to you guys about some marketing opportunities, etc. If not, if the weather just doesn't permit that, or you guys are just tired of being on a webinar, it is completely understandable. But we'll look to you guys for guidance as far as that is concerned. This is a just kind of a snapshot of a great way to prepare yourself for AEP. This year is going to be packed full of new carriers and new products, especially in the Mississippi market. So make sure that you're paying attention to carriers like Devoted. Um, they're brand new to your market. They have some really great products, but they're not there to necessarily replace anybody as well. So please pay attention to these and make sure that your portfolio has the right products for your area. I do have to apologize because one of my dogs is snoring underneath my feet and I can hear it insanely loud. So I'm hoping that you can't hear it. Just know it's not me growling at you. It is a dog snoring and she's a big baby. So I apologize for that. Also, we'd like to make sure that you're having events. This year is going to be an event packed year. And the reason for that is it's going to be hard to get to everybody. It's a lot of questions this year from seniors. There's tons of changes around their prescription benefits. There's tons of changes in products alone. So please keep in mind, events are designed to help you get in front of more people more quickly, more effectively. You can file them as sales events, and you can do your apps right there. You can do them as educational events and then make one-on-one appointments after those events. Completely up to you in the way that you feel comfortable. But I do suggest that you get ready to elevate your events so that you get in front of as many people as humanly possible. And I'm going to kind of default to Heather here, with the marketing and social media. That is definitely more her world than mine. I'm going to let her talk about that, and then Angie is going to jump on. She didn't realize she was going to, but she is. She's going to jump on right there after that. So we'll give her a second to be done being mad at me, and then let Heather go.
Perfect. So one of the things that we talk about a lot, and you may hear me and Courtney argue about because she likes to use a word that I can't stand, is what I like to call organic.
Grassroots.
No,
Grassroots.
no, we're not doing it. No. Yes, so grassroots, or like I call it, organic marketing. We really want to make sure that you are being your own best advertisement. Everywhere you go, we know a lot of you guys really utilize magnets, t-shirts, signs, sponsorships. These are all really great ways for the community to recognize you. A lot of things that we have seen is the number one thing that makes marketing efforts effective is that recognition. It really comes down to trust in your community, with your seniors, and also with the people that they do business with. So we locally recently did a focus group where we had 10 seniors come in. They were a variety of ages from 64 and a half to 75, I believe was the oldest senior that participated. And we just asked a bunch of questions, trying to learn, how do you do what you do? How do you pick the people that you do business with, your associates, etc. And we asked, normally this is where I would ask, hey, let's raise hands and shout out things, but I won't put you guys on the spot too much. When we asked them what was the most trustworthy referral source that they would use, we got, in some of our other conversations, I've had agents say things like their minister, their children, their doctor, and all of these things are true. They definitely came into the conversation. But 7 out of 10 of those participants in the focus group said someone dealing with their finances, be it their banker, their teller, their whatnot. And I do want to be really careful here and point out these were not high economic background people. Okay. We did have some because we tried to get everything, but we had people that were full dual eligible all the way up. And what it came down to, it didn't have to be someone that was making large annuity purchases or anything like that. It was their local teller. It was their financial representative. The person that they were willing to trust with the money they had was also the person that they would trust a Medicare recommendation from. So make sure you're marketing yourself to those partnerships as well, and trying to work out those kind of referrals. They don't cost you anything. You know, you have somebody that maybe needs a life insurance policy that you don't write, you can send that over. In return, when they have a client that needs Medicare that they don't write, they can send that person to you and you're helping them out. So make sure everywhere you are going, you are marketing yourself. But that also translates to your digital marketing, right? And we all hate that. Everybody, we hate, at least I promise you I do, because I'm not a market myself on the internet kind of person. So that's a really challenging thing for me. But what we've seen is seniors are on social media. Now, they're not on all social media the way you're going to find your teenagers. I doubt a ton of your seniors that you're going to run into have Snapchat, but they might. I'm not here to judge. But what you will see is your seniors on Facebook. You will absolutely see your seniors on Facebook. So make sure that you are keeping yourself there. You don't have to do a large spend. You don't have to pay for tons of sponsored ads. You don't have to learn how to get into the Facebook backend and do all of that kind of marketing. But be relevant, be current, because one thing that people do is they look for legitimacy in social media. So, do you have a website? Do you have a social media? Can they log on, click on your face, see a picture of you and your family, and know that you are a human? So, make sure you're staying current, active on these areas. What you don't want to do is build yourself a Facebook page, make a couple of posts for 2 weeks, and then never touch it again. Because then what they're going to see is they're not going to translate that to, oh, you're so busy helping people, you don't have time to update your social media. They see that as you're not very active, you're not very current. It's kind of like they logged on to your website and got a 404. So make sure you're using all of these tools that you don't have to put any money behind and can be completely cost free to keep your recognition out there and to keep your brand. You are your brand. If you do have a little money to spend, buy yourself a t-shirt. Ask me about Medicare. You'd be shocked at how many people will do that. I took my husband to a doctor's appointment, and while I was sitting in the waiting room, the lady sitting in the chair beside me is talking to her friend that she's with about her Medicare woes, and she's almost in tears over it. So everywhere you go, somebody is dealing with Medicare. So be your best billboard.
Absolutely. And I can't, even in my own grassroots way, say that enough. Be your own billboard. That is definitely key. And in doing that, sometimes you're going to need to purchase additional leads. We have staff here that will help you with that. Just reach out to Miss Angie. She'll facilitate that with you, and our marketing staff on the lead side. But Angie's going to talk to you a little bit about communicating with your clients and how referrals can really help you build your business. And guess what? They're kind of free. So, Angie, take it away.
Courtney's exactly right. Asking for referrals is the number one way to build your business. And I think all of you on here, we have some very successful insurance agents on here today. And I think all of you would totally agree to that you have built your business on referrals. Every day I will have agents to tell me, Angie, I can't do anything but work referrals. And I guarantee you, once you're in the business a couple of years, if you begin asking for referrals, when you start selling Medicare, after a couple of years, you're going to say the same thing. I can only work referrals because we all know people's going to buy from you if they've been referred to you by a friend or a family member. That's just the way it works. And most of the time, those clients are going to stay on the books as well. So I just encourage all of you to always ask for referrals, to try to get in that habit of asking for referrals every time you meet with a client, because we all know a family member. We all are in a large, usually we have a large group of friends maybe that know somebody who are turning 65 or getting ready to turn 65, or maybe they are 65. So it's just always a good habit to get into is asking for referrals from your clients.
Those are the main keys of this AEP is constant communication with your clients, get the marketing out there, be your own billboard, get in front of as many people as humanly possible. Um, but more than that, this year, you're going to have to challenge yourself to embrace the change. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of new plans out there. There's a lot of new government fun, if you will, especially with the prescription drug plans, standalone plans, as well as the drug plans on an MA plan. So please take the opportunity this year, really study up, make sure that you're comfortable with everything and you can answer your clients' questions as professionally and accurately as possible. And embrace the change. Don't be afraid of it because there's going to be tons of agents out there that are afraid of it. We have all been griping about the 800 numbers and the internet enrollments and how they are, misleading clients to take your business, for lack of better wording. This is the year to get it back. So if you take the time to educate yourself, if you are their trusted advisor and you're getting in front of your clients and communicating with them and being that walking billboard, asking for referrals, that's going to be a killer year for you. You can pick up a ton of business, and you're going to save your business as well. So please keep that in mind. Here are some of the changes that you're looking at this year. And if you can't see this, we have plenty of ways to send this out to you. And again, this is being recorded. So this is the Part D changes for 2025. And what most people are hearing is it caps the client spending at $2,000. And that's 110% accurate. That is the most simple way to state it. Um, and being with so many carriers in the last few weeks, the one thing that really resonated with me is don't get yourself in the weeds with this. Don't try to over explain it to your clients. Know the basics of it. Know that they're going to have a deductible depending on the plan that they choose of up to $590. And that can affect as many tiers as that carrier in that plan have designed it into, or it can affect no tiers. But just know that that's potentially out there. That deductible is out there. Understand that their out of pocket limit is $2,000. And more than that, understand that if they have one drug that costs them $600 or more, they can enter into a payment plan. It is called the MP or M3P plan, Medicare Prescription Drug Payment Plan. Um, it's available, it's done at the carrier level. The trigger for somebody to get into that payment plan is just like I just said, one drug, $600 or more in cost, and the carrier will break up their payments throughout the course of the year. So instead of paying it all up front, they get to make a payment throughout the course of the entire year. It limits their out of pocket costs and it allows the drug to be much more affordable, which means that the senior is going to be more apt to actually take their medication. Again, all they have to do is call the carrier. They can do that at any point during the year. So if they get put on to that high cost drug in March, they can reach out to the carrier that they're enrolled with at that time and enter into that M3P plan, um, and have their payments scheduled out over the course of the next 9 months. They enter into it at the beginning of the year. Those payments are obviously less because they have more months to spread it out through. But don't get into the minutia of that. Don't try to over explain. All you would have to say is, Heather, you know what? I'm sorry that you have such a high cost drug, but know that there's a plan out there that can help you. All I'm asking you to do is call your carrier. Aetna is going to be able to help you out with that. Devoted is going to be able to help you out with that. put it back on the carrier because they understand what they need to do. They have all the CMS regulations around that M3P plan. You don't, I don't, we don't know. The carriers do. So the best thing is to just refer that out. But other than 590 potential deductible, $2,000 max out of pocket, everything else is just really kind of getting into the nitty gritty, and every plan can change it. So be aware of it, know that it's out there. Heather has some pretty interesting little euphemisms that she's going to give you here that will help you do some of the remembering on your part.
So we all know I love a good theme. Courtney did not opt to use my no hole in the donut presentation here. But if you have any interest, I'll be happy to send it out later. It's very cute. It has a whole donut truck. But the one thing that I also love is a good example, right? So I feel like my brain works pretty much one way, and that is for me to comprehend and understand something, I have to be able to put it into something actionable or livable. So the thing that I latched onto and that I've been teaching other agents when discussing the non-musical M3P, because everywhere we go, Courtney calls it an MP3 plan, is if any of you have ever or know anyone that has ever done the leveled payments with your utility company, right? I feel like we all get that option in the mail where they say, hey, if you'd like, we've looked at your last year of usage or your last 2 years of usage, and we can average it and you can pay the same amount every year. A lot of your seniors do this in their local markets because, they can't necessarily afford a $400 gas bill in December or a $400 electric bill in July, when in April, they're doing really well with an $80 bill. So what they do is they take that level plan out, right? And they pay $120 every month, and then it reconciles at the end of the year. So a lot of them are very familiar with that style of plan. That's kind of the same thing here. The M3P plan, it's that same concept. All they're doing is spreading out the cost they know the senior is going to incur over the year into monthly payments. Definitely want to second what Courtney said, though. Don't try to get into the minutia. It's okay to say that, hey, you're looking at a level payment plan. You're still paying the same amount of money. They're just averaging it across the months. But beyond that, definitely let the carriers explain to them, because it will be different based on each of the carriers. What we do know, and has been confirmed for us by carriers, is that how it will play out for the senior is they will not pay at the pharmacy counter. If they go on that payment plan, they will be responsible, however the carrier aligns it, with paying the carrier for that. And at the counter, they will pick up their meds. The carrier pays the pharmacy and they pay the carrier whatever their obligation is. The other thing, just for your knowledge, because it is really super confusing at onset, when all we're hearing in the media, all we're hearing on the news, all the seniors are hearing is your max out of pocket was $8,000, and now we've done so much good, it's only $2,000, and your senior's like, great, I'm saving $6,000. But we as agents know that that's not quite really how it works. What it really looks like in practicality, some statisticians who are way better at math than me, and I would credit, but there's a ton of reports out there. The cost differential for a person that did in fact go into the coverage gap and hit catastrophic, they passed that $8,000 mark, it looked like about $3,500 out of pocket for that senior. So the rest was picked up by the carrier, because previously it was being calculated as a combined spend, and now it's being looked at solely as the senior spend. So there is, for a senior that made it all the way to the catastrophic coverage period previously, there is going to be about a $1,500 savings to them over the course of that year, because they'll cap at $2,000 before they go into the catastrophic period. Most people don't, right? We know a lot of people that go into that coverage gap. We don't know a lot of people that come out of it in reality, because it is what it is. So the savings is going to be different for each of them. Another reason we suggest don't try to get into the math, don't try to get into the minutia, because if you're going to sit there and try to calculate up their drug spend to see where they're going to land, you're going to give yourself a headache. So just for a little bit of extra guidance, for your knowledge, it is going to look like about $1,500 savings for people that go into the catastrophic cap currently, or catastrophic gap current, And for others, they may or may not see it. They do qualify for that one drug, but they work that out with the carrier. And what it is really turning it into is an average level payment so that they're not seeing a big charge now and then nothing in December. They can make it to where it's affordable on their fixed income.
Thank you for that. Well, guys, I'm going to turn it over to Randy here in just one second. And he is going to get us started with his hot sheet and his 15 minutes on United Healthcare. But first and foremost, I really do want to say thank you again. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to hang out with us on this virtual webinar. We cannot tell you how much we miss being there in person. We really value every single one of you as a partner, as an agent, as somebody who is out there doing the hard work all day, every day, and helping your seniors make sure that they have the best coverage for their situation. We will see you in January. Tentatively, I think it was the 25th that we're aiming for. We will be back at the River whatever club that we had it scheduled for. So just be ready for
And
that.
to help make it up to you, Courtney's going to give out 2 hugs per agent instead of 1.
Well, there's that. Sure, she's going to hold that to me too. But more than anything, the hugs would be worth it. I'll deal with it. But we absolutely value your partnership. We appreciate everything that you guys do, and that's the most important thing. So I just wanted to make you aware of that since we can't be there in person.